It's rivalry week here on Channel 22 Sports. From Howcat Field, along with Rufus Washington, Rashawn Haylock, and Brian Robert Taylor, I'm Lou Stowers. We're going to bring you all the action of the Mayor's Cup between the visiting Leuzinger Olympians 0-4 and the Hawthorne Cougars. Rashawn coming off of their first win, and Brian Taylor, what a win it was.
Absolutely. They reported today, the Daily News, it was like a tsunami of emotions, as they said, because Hawthorne broke a 45-game losing streak. Last week they came from behind. I was talking to Coach Kanak, the coach of Hawthorne, earlier, and they're pretty excited about it. He's really proud of his guys. They're a young team, and he's just proud of the way they came back and showed a lot of character last week.
Rufus, what does it mean for this program to finally beat the Schneid? And now they have an opportunity to win the Mayor's Cup for the first time in 9 years.
Well, it means a lot for the kids, more so than the fans. I mean, you got kids, this is their first win in high school. For some, their senior year. So it's a great moment for them. Leuzinger, on the other hand, is trying to get cranked up under a new coaching staff, and we'll see what happens. One streak is going to end tonight. Another one's going to continue. We'll have to see which one.
Turning over to Rashawn Haylock and the Leuzinger Olympians, he'll be prowling the sideline there, and prowling the sideline literally is a hard-nosed coach there, Reginald Grant.
That's the first thing you notice, partner. You see Reggie Grant a little bit different from Coach T. Coach T obviously ran a lot of a looser ship. His guys were over the place. His guys knew where they were supposed to be. Coach Grant obviously appears to be a stickler, appears to be a disciplinarian if there ever was one. Comes over from Southgate where he was 5-16 over 2 seasons. He felt like that was a training ground. He's now ready for this challenge. That challenge, of course, is entering the Bay League. But first, they got to hold on to this Mayor's Cup tonight, something that they've held on to since 2002.
And Rufus, the Cougars are going to be without their starting quarterback Calderon with an eye injury, and that's going to change the whole complexion of this ball game for the Cougars offense.
Well, it'll change the complexion, but what injuries do, they give other players an opportunity to step up and show what they can do, and I'm sure there are guys who've been waiting for this opportunity. Leuzinger would tell you, hey, we're without Deshaun Burton, who was the best quarterback in the Bay League last year, who's moved on to bigger and better things.
All right, we'll be back with the kickoff right after this. The Mayor's Cup's coming up on Channel 22 Sports.
Thread the needle, hits his receiver, and now they are deep in the red zone.
All right, we'll tell you what is going on here after this play as the ball is handed off.
Handoff goes nowhere.
And no gain on the play, first and goal. Now it's second and goal, as that was Perry with the carry, and Rufus, so we regain power. And what's gone on there is we see Coach Kanak there.
Well, the main thing, well, a couple of things happened. As you mentioned, there was a penalty. There was a holding penalty against the Olympians. They had advanced the ball to the 30. The penalty set them back to the 40, but they responded with a big 33-yard pass and catch that has them down at the 7, and now they're knocking on the door here early in the first quarter.
Carrier back to pass, now rolls, tosses it into the end zone, caught in the end zone for touchdown, Leuzinger.
LaRon Barnes with the catch.
And that is a 7-yard catch for the touchdown. So a nice drive, a 50-yard drive, and that's capped off at 8:20.
So the first thing here in the 2010 edition of the Mayor's Cup is that the gamble by the Hawthorne Cougars does not pay off. They onside kick to start the game. Leuzinger recovered at midfield, working with the short field. They punch it in for the early score.
So 8:20 left to go in the first quarter. And Carrier will hold for the kicker, Omar Busio.
Busio showed some skills last year. Bad snap that time.
So Carrier has to run for his life, and is finally wrangled and run out of bounds. So it's 6-0 in favor of the Leuzinger Olympians. Coming in here to Hellcat Field, and just wondering if any of our sideline reporters have anything going on yet. And don't think so. And let's go to Rashawn as soon as he gets ready, as we're getting set here for the kickoff.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Rufus, you alluded to it in the pregame. It's never easy following a legend, and Tayshawn Burton was just that, a legend for this Leuzinger High School football team at quarterback. But I talked to John Carrier before the game started. I said, hey, 10, are you ready? He said, I'm born ready. I was born for this. Well, he definitely showed some poise and maturation for just a sophomore quarterback on that drive, guys.
Thank you, Rashawn. Of course, we remember that Tayshawn Burton got his start as a sophomore here, and obviously went out for Leuzinger and went on to great things, now playing at Jackson State down in Jackson, Mississippi.
7-play drive in about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Here comes Busio to kick the ball off, but the ball fell off the tee, so they'll have to do it again. Waiting for the return for the Cougars, number 1, Chris Bailey, and number 16, Medina Salam. Now the ball cooperates, and a nice, strong kickoff to the 4-yard line for Bailey. Bailey comes up the middle, has a hole, and he could be gone. He's at midfield. A couple of Olympians are trying to catch up to him, but nobody's going to catch Chris Bailey on a 96-yard run for a touchdown. It's tied at 6.
And that's how you respond, Lou. Chris Bailey with the big play for the Hawthorne Cougars. 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Boy, he was barely touched.
So Chris Bailey had some nice blocking and just went right up the gut, as you can see it coming up the middle. Look at that blocking.
Excellent blocking by the special teams of the Hawthorne Cougars, and as you see, once he beat Wedge, he was gone. Couple of Olympians giving pursuit, futilely, I might add.
And coming on to kick the extra points, La Tofea Ono. Kick is blocked, and so it remains tied at 6. So wow, just like that, lightning strikes for the Cougars after they either do an onside kick, or I don't know, Rufus, it looks kind of like it was shanked off of the side of somebody's foot on the original kickoff. But it's all tied up at 6, as Coach Kanak says, yeah, I drew that up pretty good, didn't I?
Sure did. Boy, you talk about getting right back in, and they brought the crowd right back into this one. And of course, Hawthorne getting ready for their second kickoff. And I think, as you just alluded to, Lou, you can expect a more conventional effort this time.
Well, that play took about 16 seconds. So 96-yard dash in 16 seconds with pads on and running around, a bunch of big guys chasing you.
And that's exactly what I made a note of it, that, you know, that's not bad. That's not bad.
All right, we'll see what's the Cougar kicking team, special teams, has in store now for the Olympians. And the Olympians don't expect a big kickoff.
Well, and they're in onside kick formation again, so you shouldn't expect that Hawthorne will try that trick again.
It's a short kick.
All right. They just have a problem in the kicking game.
That's it. The ball is picked up and going down the sideline, almost breaking tackles there, and still on his feet down into Hawthorne territory. About the 36-yard line, and a good run back on the play by LaRon Barnes, who scored the touchdown. So LaRon picked it up at about the 25-yard line and made a great return. About a 8-yard return, Rufus.
Just about. That's very, very, very good math on your part, but an even better return by LaRon Barnes. So right now, Hawthorne not helping their cause by giving Leuzinger excellent field position for their second possession here in the first half. First quarter, that is.
So the ball is handed off to Perry. He spins past the 35-yard line down towards the 30 on a nice gain of about 5 yards.
And I don't want Mr. and Mrs. Christie to get mad at us, Lou, so I think we ought to make mention of the fact that on that last drive by the Olympians, the first carry was actually by Devin Christie.
Okay.
Before they threw the touchdown pass.
All right. And the handoff to the 30-yard line, about a 1-yard gain, maybe a 2-yard gain.
Because trust me, I know from experience. And actually, moms get a little bit more worked up about it than dads do.
Oh.
If you don't call out Junior's name when he does something, so
Oh,
I can't afford to have that weight on my shoulders right now.
Don't forget the grandmothers. They can be awful mean, too. Not that they're mean, but, you know. Long pass downfield is caught inside the 25-yard line. Nicely done as Henry Christian, and he hauls it in. And Coach Grant told us that we'll be calling his number quite a bit tonight. Let's go to Brian Taylor.
Okay, well, we got the Olympians driving back downfield, but I got to tell you something. You can't believe the emotion over here on the Hawthorne side. I talked to Joe Kanak, the coach of the Hawthorne team, a little bit earlier before the game, as I recounted in our pregame, and he was talking about, he admits, this other team, the Olympians, they're bigger, they're stronger, and they are faster. He says, we got to get some lucky bounces, but I would not put up any team against my kids. My kids have got the emotions. They've got the spirit, especially after coming off that big win last week. So that was a big, big thing for him to come back and get that touchdown. We've got lots more coming up.
All right, thanks, Brian. Down to the 20-yard line, about the 19-yard line is Devin Christie, and that's a 5-yard gain, 6-yard gain, a 4-yard gain we'll call it, and it'll be second down and 4, or 6.
The main thing that Brian said, Lou, that was important, and that was, first of all, Coach Knock acknowledging certain athletic differences and advantages that Leuzinger has, but the fact that his guys are emotionally ready for this game, their spirits are high, that win last week against Fireball has got them turned around and moving in the right direction.
Whistle called, or blown, and a flag on the play. Too much time taken by the Olympians, and they'll lose that 5 yards that Devin Christie gave them, plus a yard. So it'll be second down and 11.
And speaking of the Olympians, and Rashawn pointed this out, I got to say, on his first couple of passes and just the way he's handled himself out there on the field, I find John Carrier, who's a 5'8" sophomore, to be very impressive so far.
Back to pass is Carrier, pumps, still looking. Now he's going to take off. Gets to the 20-yard line after he has shed a tackler and down to the 15-yard line, and Carrier ran really well with a lot of power.
And you said it right. He shed the tackler because he lowered his shoulder and took the tackle on. He didn't avoid it. He didn't hook slide. He took the tackle on and picked up another 2 or 3 yards.
That's right. And a gain on the play of about 8 yards. It'll be third down and 3 yards to go.
And you'll see Carrier here. You see him lower the shoulder in.
That's Chance Kennedy.
And Chance Kennedy got the short end of that deal.
Chance Kennedy, another sophomore, a linebacker, and we're going to be calling his name quite a bit. Plays with a lot of recklessness, and the ball is handed off to the big fullback, McLennan, and he's still on his feet. Nolan can bring him down, and he falls forward to about the 9-yard line. So that'll be first and goal for the Olympians.
Once again, Olympians operating very efficiently in the red zone. Ball spotted just inside the 10, so it's downs and goal to go.
So Ivan McLennan, a 6'3", 215-pound senior, one of the captains on this team, and Actually, there's quite a few seniors on this team. And Carrier drops the ball after the fumble and the snap. Tevin Posey and Carrier, but Leuzinger recovered the ball. Carrier on it like a cat on a mouse.
Exactly, and you mentioned, Lou, that there are a number of seniors. There's a difference between being a senior with experience and an inexperienced senior. And this Leuzinger team, quite frankly, even though they have a number of seniors, a lot of these guys did not get a lot of playing time last year with the squad. There was, I mean, they were juniors then, but it was a senior-dominated Leuzinger squad then, which is why they had the success that they did. So these are some seniors lacking in experience just a little bit.
Christie gets the handoff and a nice tackle by Chance Kennedy as he got into the backfield and dug his nose in, and it's a loss. It'll be 3rd and goal back at the 11-yard line after the 1-yard loss.
So the Hawthorne Cougars defense with a chance to do something big here. 3rd and goal, as you say, with the ball. Actually, Leuzinger now has lost a half a yard on this possession because now the ball is outside the 10-yard line. It was inside the 10-yard line. Big stand here for the Cougar defense.
LaRon Barnes splits out wide to the left. And on the right is Crockett. The pitch goes to Ramaji Williams. Williams gets into the end zone, and it is a touchdown for the Olympians. Williams just took the ball and just followed his blockers.
Absolutely did. Around the left side. You picked him up perfectly. He was the deep back, and the pitch to him from Carrier, we'll see here on the replay, boy, and he just took it to the house.
There's the replay, and nice move there on Medina Salon. Omar Buccio coming on to attack on the extra point. Let's see if they can get the snap back. It's a little high and wobbly, but the kick is nice and straight and through. So with 2:29 left to go in the first quarter, it is 13-6 in favor of the Olympians at the Mayor's Cup.
Courtesy of the 10-yard run by Ramaje Williams.
Yeah, let's see if any of our sideline reporters have anything to report. And no, Mayor Hoffman's prowling the sideline somewhere. So a nice drive put together. A 38-yard drive.
38-yard drive by the Olympians, set up first of all by the squib kick, an area that obviously Coach K Knock and his team are going to have to work on because they end up giving the Olympians excellent field position yet again. But of course now we get to see if Chris Bailey can turn the trick again.
Here comes Buccio's kickoff and another high, nice end-over-end kickoff into the end zone, and that's called a touchback. And that drive was 9 plays, 38 yards, and it took 5 minutes and 30 seconds to get done. You might have thought that Buccio would have kicked it to the left side.
You would have thought that, but instead with the distance that he had on, it makes it a moot point.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that you got to wonder if one day, first of all, you have to ask, why is it a rule? And one day I'm going to ask an official that in high school, a ball that goes into the end zone is an automatic touchback, and you take away from the return man the decision as to whether or not he thinks he can make it.
We're going to see a lot of running as James Griffiths now gets the pitch. Looked like a little bit of a wing formation. And this one is a loss, but we also have a flag on the play as it's 1st and 10 at the 20.
I think this is a possible face mask, but we'll see. It was made by side judge.
There's the replay. See if we can.
Yep.
There it is right there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's Jabari Matthew. So that'll give the Cougars some field position. The quarterback for today's game was going to be Ricky Calderon, but he had an eye injury, and so now he will be out until the Morningside game, the homecoming game, according to Ricky. Talked to him before that, and we wish him all the best.
Cougars keep it on the ground on that play, pick up about 3 on it, maybe 4.
Okay, I thought we had a penalty on the play. All right, there goes Griffiths. He tries to get around the corner and does. Gets up to the 40, 45, almost to midfield. And a nice run by the quick James Griffiths.
We saw Griffiths have a big game a couple of weeks ago against the Lawndale Cardinal, even though the Cougars came up short in that game, which was their opening game of the season. Griffiths nonetheless had an excellent outing.
Up to the 46-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 there.
Well, you see McLennan stretching out to get him on that play.
Handoff again, and good defense by the quick Olympian defense, and that's a loss on the play. Lato Feaono. And that's going to go back to the 45-yard line, so a 1-yard loss.
And you're right, Lou. We saw the face mask, we saw the flag, but I'm not sure we ever saw him mark it off.
No, it was because the play went right back to the 20. Now the pitch goes to Tefaiono and gets up to the 50-yard line. Tofeaono. So it'll be 3rd down and about 7 yards to go.
And they spot it right on the midfield stripe, so I guess technically Hawthorne has yet to get into Olympian territory from a scrimmage play.
Griffiths gets the handoff on the double wing formation, or the wing T formation, I should say.
Nice fake that time. Had the Olympians fooled. Sorry.
Cougar territory, and it's going to be 1st down. And Shane Reif is the quarterback, replacing Ricky Calderon. Shane is a senior, and coming in from the wide receiver position. We saw him catch some nice balls the other night against Lawndale.
Well, I can assure you he doesn't mind being back there under center. Every kid, here we go.
Griffiths breaks through and almost goes into the end zone, but is drugged down at the 10-yard line, but that's going to be a penalty. And Curtis Johnson made the tackle, but you can't get the guy by the shoulder pads and drag him down anymore.
Let's see. We've got that big run by Griffiths, boy. Just, if he had one more gear. If he had one more gear, he could have hit. He should have been there. There you see, I believe what they're going to call a horse collar tackle.
Here's the call.
Yep.
Okay, so the run goes to the 10-yard line for Griffiths. So that's a 31-yard gain. And then tack on the penalty, and we're at the 5-yard line. And Griffiths gets the ball again and gets hit from the side, and maybe about a about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, looks like he got more than half of it.
And that's going to end the first quarter of play. So what a quarter it was. We saw the Olympians take the first drive to score, and then the very next play, a 96-yard touchdown run, and the Olympians answer, and it's 13-6 in favor of the Olympians. And why don't we take a quick timeout on Channel 22? Start of the second quarter, and it's a 2nd and goal for the Cougars. You see Shane Reif in the double wing formation. On the right side is La Tofeaono, and getting the inside handoff. And is that a score? No score yet. Yep. Touchdown. It's called a touchdown. Yep. And that was by Griffiths with a little plunge into the middle, and it is 13-12. on the 2-yard run by James Griffiths. And we'll get to Brian Taylor down on the field after this extra point try. Or if he's ready now, we can, let's get him after the extra point try. Let's get him after the extra point try. And coming onto the field, you see Kuluni Manuatu, the big right tackle. And it looks like they're going to go for 2.
Well,
try to get the lead, but a whistle and a timeout called by Hawthorne. So why don't we go down to Brian Taylor?
What can I say, Coach? You're playing them really tough tonight. We just had another touchdown from Hawthorne, but I overheard you earlier saying you got to get stopped. You got to get a stop to your number 1. What's that?
Well, that's absolutely right. We got to get stops. Offense is moving the ball. We got a great opportunity with our special teams to score. So we got 2 out of the 3 phases working. I got to get the defense going so we can get all 3 going. If we get all 3 going, we're going to be okay.
Absolutely. Okay, we got more action coming up. Stay tuned.
All right, thank you, Brian. And we're waiting to see what the coaching staff said there, led by first-year coach Joe Kanak. But a nice drive put together by Hawthorne as they travel 80 yards in 8 plays. And the pass for the extra point fools everybody. And into the end zone, Chris Bailey gets the 2-point conversion. So the pass from Rife to Bailey. And, geez, do we have a passing game going tonight now all of a sudden?
We've got a passing game because they don't have a kicking game. All right. They clearly they lined up to show that they were going for 2. I don't think they were going for the 2 just to take the lead, but instead, in the concession, as we'll see on the replay here, that their kicking game is rather weak right now. But a good-looking pass from Rife to Bailey.
And avoided the tackle there. Nicely done. So it's 14-13, Hawthorne's first lead of this game, as they're looking to get a couple of schneids off of their back in 2 weeks.
Well, we could see the beginning. Well, we missed the beginning, but the second installment, as you see Coach Kanak there, of, who knows, a 45-game win streak.
There you go. There's another good. Coach Kanak is one of the guys who came into summer early. As we see another onside kick, it bounces off, and are the Olympians there to pick it up?
Well,
we got people pointing both directions, but no one in a striped shirt. And it's an Olympian ball at the 46-yard line.
Okay. And that time, what did appear to be an attempt at it. That's something that we'll have to ask Rayshawn or Brian Robert Taylor to get some perspective from the Hawthorne Cougar coaching staff with regard to the kicking game. Because I can tell you this, and I'm certain they realize it, you cannot give Leuzinger the ball at the 50-yard line and expect to win. Okay?
That's absolutely right. And here comes John Carrier. That'll wear a defense out is what it'll do. And keep the offense fresh. The pitch goes to Williams as he spins and gets about 8 yards on the play and gets into Hawthorne territory. But what a hole that was for Ramaji Williams to go through.
And a good-looking run by Williams, as you said, Lou. What's interesting is that, boy, as you watch this Leuzinger Olympian team tonight, they do not look like a team that's coming into the night's contest 0-4 thus far in the preseason.
Give it off to the big fullback, McLennan, and he gets the first down and pounds his way down to the 40-yard line for about a 6-yard gain and another first down for the Olympians. So 6-yard gain.
Now Now, Leuzinger, of course, in amassing this 0-4 record, has played some very, very good teams along the way, and I'll develop that point in just a moment.
End around try. Courtney Crockett gets the handoff, and a good play on defense by Chance Kennedy. Also there to help him out was Damian Jones. So Chance Kennedy getting a chance to play linebacker, just a sophomore. You know, he's only 14 years old.
Is that right?
And he's a sophomore. There you see that nice tackle again.
He must be pretty doggone smart then.
Yeah, Kevin Gomez actually made the tackle there. Kennedy
was
there to get the leftovers.
I was in the 5th grade. And you're telling me this guy is in high school?
And the pitch goes back to this deep running crew, Anthony Williams. Williams was supposed to be out for the game.
Wow.
Williams banging his way inside the 10-yard line.
And again, Williams.
No, is that Williams? Yes,
yeah,
it is.
That's Williams. Wow, if we've got the replay, you talk about taking on the defender. He's one of those guys that runs straight up, and he ran straight directly into the defender as if though the defender were a brick wall. As you can see,
Chris Bailey.
He didn't lower his shoulder. I mean, he just took Bailey straight on.
So the ball is now at the 7-yard line after a 32-yard run. I'm running out of room here for all these running backs. Where'd they get them all? Ball goes to Williams. Williams trying to dance through the line, and is that a fumble?
No.
Or nope, just being held up as the Cougars and well, the pile just moved into the end zone. Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
It moved into the end zone and touchdown Olympians.
Now,
that was Williams again.
And what you see the coaching staff, and I believe that's Coach Knox saying, is that there's a point at which the play is dead. And I think his play is what you're taught to play to the whistle. The officials never blew the whistle. And actually it was one of the assistant coaches, just in all fairness, Coach K. Don't want to misidentify him. But, yeah, you know, the players thought that would have been blown dead, but it wasn't.
So the score is 19-14 on a weird 2-yard play, or 7-yard play. Snap back, ball down, kick is up and through for Buccio. So it is 20-14 in favor of the Olympians with 10:13 left to go in the first half. And I don't think I've ever seen that before, except on a rugby field and in a cartoon.
And who? Okay. Trying it. Right.
So Anthony Williams there and all those people. There it is. And now here comes some blockers to come in and push.
Well, big number. Is that 56 or 58?
58.
We
don't have him on our roster.
Don't have him. Well, if it's 56, we got him. We can't quite tell. But whoever he was,
Ma'afu Lavatai, maybe that's who it was.
I think he made the difference.
At any rate, Anthony Williams with a 7-yard touchdown run. Buccio getting ready to kick things off. And a nice high kickoff. It drives back the man to the to the 9-yard line, still on his feet, and finally is taken down.
But not until he gets out until about the 24. That was the opposite back that time for that's Medina Salam with the return.
6-play drive and 55 yards. So just like you were saying, Rufus, a short field pays off for the Olympians as it's 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line for the Cougars. See if they can answer with 10 minutes left in the half, and this handoff goes to Griffiths out of the wing T formation, double wing formation, and a nice gain of about 7 yards. We'll call it a 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 4.
And again, Griffiths this week looking good, as he has throughout most of the season.
And this play is handed off again. And this is for Griffiths. And he gets about a yard.
So a big third down coming up, Lou, for the Cougar offense. They've got 3rd and short. Looks like it's about a 3rd and 2 that they're going to need to pick this up because they definitely don't want their defense to have to go back out on the field right now.
Reif looks like he's going to keep the ball or handed it off to the wide receiver, and it gets buried
that one blew
at
up
midfield.
In their face.
And that was La Tofeaono. Actually, he was one of the backs there. So now it'll be 4th down and about 5 yards to go. So the defense for the Olympians holds up, and a big play for the Olympians.
Big play for the Olympians, but more importantly, we've got to look and see what the kicking team. Well, let's see who's dropping back to kick that.
Number 5, and don't have him on our list. Or number 9, Dejon Wills.
Well, Dejon's going to have a lot of pressure on him right now because it's going to be up to him to get this ball again at least into Leuzinger territory to give his defense an opportunity here.
So 8:20 left to go in the first half. Anthony Williams' 7-yard run capped off a 6-play, 55-yard drive, and that took about 1 minute and 4 seconds. The extra point was good, so it's 19-13. But one thing that the Cougars have to make the Olympians do is work for their dinner.
Well, they're going to have to do that, but boy, you can't keep giving them dinner on a silver platter. Otherwise, they'll keep coming back.
That's almost room service at midfield.
Exactly.
So Dejon Wills getting ready to kick the ball off. Only one man back for the Olympians. And that looks like Ramaji Williams. Nice punt. Williams is going to let it roll. Is he going to pick it up? No.
No, he's not going to touch it now. Good coverage by the Cougar special team, and doing his job to help his team was Dejon Wills. Got to give Dejon a lot of credit, and that one that makes the Olympian line of scrimmage to start this set of downs the 34-yard line.
That's their worst field position of the game.
We were talking about the Olympians, Lou, and the fact that they're coming into tonight's contest 0-4. On the season, they opened with Santa Monica, which is a loss. Then they had Harvard Westlake, perennial powerhouse. Took another tough defeat there. Long Beach Lakewood.
That's another toughie.
Oh, a real toughie. They're playing Long Beach Poly tonight.
And the ball goes to McLennan. McLennan just moving the pile as well. They just got some horses out there for the Olympians. And that goes across the 35 to about the 37-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and about 6. We'll call it 5.
Right.
No, 6 is right. Okay.
And to talk about the Lakewood team, the Lakewood Lancers that they played, which last year, to show you how good they are, unseeded Long Beach Poly as the Moore League champion after Poly had dominated Moore League play for the last 20-some years.
Wow.
And then, of course, they had Westchester. But none of that means anything. We'll talk about what fans can look forward to starting next Friday night.
Carrier going downfield, has a man open and in and out of the hands of the wide receiver downfield, and that was Courtney Crockett.
Crockett had a hand on it, couldn't bring it in though. Looking for one of those accurate. Last couple of weeks we've seen guys, college and the pros, make these one-handed catches. Courtney Crockett had a chance to join the highlight reel if he had been able to pull that one in. As we can see, actually had 2 hands on it, couldn't bring it in.
Now see, if they didn't wear those gloves, maybe they would have caught it. You know, we didn't have gloves in our
We
day.
didn't have, and I had a coach, I talked to a coach about that, and all the kids like to do it because they see them wear them at the next level, and of course in the NFL. But the first thing it says is that gloves have nothing to do with your ability to catch the ball.
Williams gets the pitch, and he tries to go outside, but a nice hit by Chris Bailey down at the 40-yard line. So a gain of about 1 yard, maybe two. Call it 2-yard gain. So a big third down play for the Olympians, just past the 40-yard line, so about a 3-yard gain.
And actually it's a fourth down.
Oh, that's right.
So the Cougar defense holds on that set of downs.
So a good job there. They had to work for they had to work for it this time, being back beyond the 40-yard line. And getting ready to punt it away is Omar Bucchio, and Chris Bailey is back at about his own 22-yard line to field the punt. Mayor's Cup on the line. End over end. It's a short kick. Hits at about the 30-yard line. Picked up by Bailey. And trying to dance his way.
Finds
and
a
gets
hole
around the corner and gets blistered right at the 40-yard line by number 44, Omar Bucchio, the kicker.
Right, you're right. I'm looking the wrong way.
Omar must have been ticked off with that bad kick.
He was, man. Because that's what you call laying some wood. As a matter of fact, if you look, boy, Bailey is staggering on his feet, dear. Let's watch the replay. I'm looking at Bailey live action, who needs to be attended to.
Yeah, a nice block by Dejon Williams. Bam.
Wow.
Oh, he got hit right in the head.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go to Rashawn. Let's go after the play, okay? All right. Rashawn understands. Double wing formation. Man in motion is Griffiths. He gets the ball. Rife with the block. And about a 3-yard gain up to the 43-yard line. And now let's go to Rashawn.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Looks like we may have a shootout on our hands here tonight. You know, the most glaring issue about this, domination by Leuzinger throughout the last few years. So far in this first half, they've given up more points than they've given up in the last 2 meetings with Hawthorne combined.
Thanks, Rashawn. The pitch goes to Latte. Nope, it doesn't. The handoff is to Griffiths. And James gets past the 45-yard line to about the 46, 47-yard line. So a big third down play. And going to call it a long 3.
Big third down play, and just to update your fans, the medical staff now attending to Chris Bailey. Looks like he may have been concussed on that play.
Tofeo Ono with the handoff, and a good play by the defense. And LaRon James also doing a good job there as one of the safeties on this team. So fourth down play, and they're gonna go for it with 5 minutes left to go in the first half.
Fourth and short, hey.
So no gain after that one. And now let's see if the pile can get pushed forward. Nope. A no gain again. And Irahan Avia was there to make the initial hit. So turned over on downs by the Hawthorne Cougars to the Olympians, where it'll be 1st and 10 with 4:50 left to go in the first half and a 20-14 lead.
Coach K not being very aggressive in his play calling throughout this contest. One with the onside kicks, a couple times he's gone for it. Just now they decided to go for it on 4th and short. His defense last time held. We'll see if they can do it again this time. In the meantime, Chris Bailey definitely being attended to. You shouldn't expect to see him back, fans, based on what I'm seeing here from up here.
He's sitting on the bench being attended to and looked at by the athletic person there, the medical staff. And what a run now by Williams. Anthony Williams went to the right-left side near us and then took off towards the middle and gets a first down.
Well, when they shine the flashlight in your eye, you're already done at that point.
And you're talking about Bailey there. There you see the run by Anthony Williams, who doesn't look like he's got a deer in the headlights there. So this goes down to the 36-yard line. So an 8-yard gain, or a 12-yard gain, I should say, for Williams, who gets the pitch again, and now it goes back to the middle, still slipping tackles, and the elusive Anthony Williams gets down to the 31. So another 4 yards. That was well, actually longer than that. That was down to the 30-yard line. 6-yard gain.
I will say this for the Cougar defense. I like their tackling style and their tackling strategy. Their pursuit to the ball is very quick. Once the first guy is there and makes contact with the ball carrier, boy, there's a swarm around right away.
2nd down and 4. Carrier back to pass, throwing on the flat. The pass is completed to Barnes, and he's tackled. And that was by Damian Jones, but not after a big gain and a first down for the Olympians at the 16-yard line. So that was a 14-yard gain. And Carrier, there you see the nice play. Nice catch and the nice defensive play. Actually, that was Medina Salam that made the play. So Carrier has Williams tailback and McLennan at the fullback. 2 wide receivers on either side. Williams gets the handoff going straight up the middle and is broadsided and brought down inside the 15-yard line at about the 12. So it'll be 2nd down and about 6 yards to go.
And I know that either Brian or Rashawn will get us an update, but it would appear from using your binoculars look clearly that that Chris Bailey has suffered a concussion in all likelihood.
Under 2:40 left in the first half. Man in motion. The ball is given to McLennan. McLennan trying to go around the end, but just can't get around Gantz and the Cougar defense. And that might be a 1-yard gain, or they call it a no gain.
And actually the slip, okay, well, I was about to say he slipped, but instead one of the Cougar defenders, looks like that was Stephen Grant, or Gant. Let me get it right, Stephen Gant, who had him by the jersey, and that was just enough to slow him up so a couple of other Cougars could get in on the play.
So that was a gain of about 4 yards. Pitch goes to Anthony Williams, and he is hit, but still eludes it, and now the slips out. And is it a touchdown or no? Are they going to call it a down? No, it's going to be called down. A nice play by Jonathan Dixon on the Cougar defense. So let's see what the official calls. Holding against the Olympians.
Well, a fortuitous break that time for the Cardinal in terms of the holding penalty will wipe out the touchdown. A real good contest tonight, though, little boy. We certainly didn't know what to expect coming into this, looking at the two teams' records, but boy, it is living up to the hype of the Mayor's Cup.
It sure is. So now it's 3rd and 16 after the penalty from the 23-yard line. Back to pass is Carrier. Has to run out of the pocket and tucks it in and tries to get it himself. Gets back to the 15-yard line, right around the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th down decision for Coach Grant and the Olympians, whether they're going to use this 4th down territory. They have about 9 yards to go for a first down with 1:35 and counting. Well, it looks like Buccio's coming on to kick a field goal.
Well, let's see how they line up out of this. Now, remember, the holder for Buccio is the quarterback, John Carrier.
So this is going to be a 34-yard kick for Omar Buccio, snap back, ball down. It looks good, and it is good. Omar Buccio with a 34-yard field goal. Tack on 3 more. It's 23-14. Leuzinger over Hawthorne here at the Mayor's Cup. 1:09 left to go in the first half. So that was impressive.
That was very impressive by Buccio.
So a 7-play drive capped off by the 33-yard field goal. And that chewed up a lot of time, Rufus, a little over 5 minutes, about 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Check that, 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Right. Cougars now having to put a new return team out on the field. Chris Baylor, remember, had the 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
And that is Damian Jones as Buccio kicks it off over Jones's head. And this is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So 23-14, and this is a little bit. I thought the Cougars were going to. Well, they haven't had that kicking game, Rufus, and that really has put them in a hole here, giving a short field for the Olympians.
Well, it certainly has, and we talked about that in the fact that, boy, you're playing with fire when you do that.
So from the 20-yard line, the ball is handed off and capped that off. Ricky Calderon is injured, so they had to change the offense as Shane Reif comes up limping after a no gain.
And we talk about field position. The Cardinals, the Cougars have not had the same luxury of good field position that Leuzinger has had.
Actually, Shane Reif did not carry it. He was just trying to block for James Griffiths, who carries the ball again. And he gets 2 yards.
Okay, so they should be able to just about run the clock out here.
Tofea Ono, actually Griffiths gets the ball, and now about the 24-yard line, and that's about a 1-yard gain. And that should do it for the first half. So 23-14 is our score coming at halftime, and Mayor Harold Hoffman is down the field with Brian Robert Taylor.
All right, we're at halftime, and we're here with Mayor Harold Hoffman. He's the mayor of Lawndale. Of course, this is the Mayor's Cup. I caught him on the other side. Unfortunately, for the Hawthorne fans, he's rooting for the other side because he is an alumni of Leuzinger, right?
Of Leuzinger, 1950 graduate, and we're celebrating 60 years next Saturday as a reunion.
Let me ask you something, Mayor. You said you played a little bit of football for them for a while. How long ago was that?
It's been 60 years ago, yeah, but I wonder when I see these kids fall, how I could ever fall like that, or how they fall now and to get up and keep on.
Absolutely. Well, one last question. I mean, you see the game going on. What's got to happen for each of these teams? What are your thoughts of the game?
Well, I think it's going to be close right to the end. I mean, this is one of those teams that I'm not too sure there's a lot of defense. When I see the first run of the kickoff that Hawthorne took, my goodness, that kid is fast, and I think he showed his speed.
We've got a lot of talent on the field. Well, listen, thanks so much for coming over and seeing us. We do appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We got lots more action coming up right after the half, so stay tuned, everybody. Thanks.
All right, Brian, thank you very much, and thank you, Mayor Harold Hoffman, and maybe we can get an injury update, too, on Chris Bailey. And Rufus, what do you think about the first half here?
Well, I think it was an exciting first half. Cougars obviously would like for the score to be reversed, but just from pure fun value, 37 points in the first half between these two teams. Who would have thunk it? All right. Between the two of them, I don't believe coming in to tonight's contest that they had scored 37 points combined. Leuzinger actually had scored 27 points in its first 4 games, and Hawthorne with a little more success had scored 54 points. So still a scoring outburst for 2 rather low-scoring teams, and very entertaining on both sides.
All right, we'll have the second half kickoff and the unofficial stats coming up next. You're watching the Mayor's Cup on Channel 22 Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was with great.
Back here at Howcap Field, side of the Mayor's Cup, and it is on the line. And Hawthorne, if they have a chance, Rufus Washington, what do they need to do to get the lead back down 23-14?
Well, first of all, they got to score 10 points, okay? But then beyond that, the real thing they've got to do is that they've got to stop giving Leuzinger such excellent field possession. Leuzinger started every one of their scoring drives at or near midfield. My understanding is we've got Brian Robert Taylor ready, so I tell you what, well, let's go down to Brian Robert Taylor.
Okay, guys, listen, just came out of the Hawthorne locker room, okay? Now, these guys, they're down by a touchdown, 23-14, but you know what? They got a lot of confidence. That coach is there. He's saying, we can win this game, guys. The main concern, they're really fired up about this, is Chris Bailey, number 1, their safety and wide receiver, is out with a concussion. He seems to be doing okay. We got the paramedics here. They're taking him away on a stiff board. They were asking him, I was just over there right now by the truck, and they said, Chris, how you doing? He was very responsive. He seems to be okay, but we'll get an update to you to see how he's doing. Obviously, it's really firing up this team, though, guys. They're ready to come out and play. They think they can win this football game.
All right, thank you very much, Brian. And we're getting ready to kick things off. And James Carrier, let's just get this real quick. He is 4 out of 5, 66 yards and a touchdown pass, a 7-yard TD pass to James. And now getting some people over to the other side. And okay, he's just trying to clear the field off and get this thing going. So replacing Bailey on the kickoff return is Damian Jones, just a youngster, as the emergency crews are still here down to our right, and we hope the best for Chris Bailey. So Mario Buccio has a field goal tonight, waiting to kick things off. Let's go to Rashawn.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I talked to Coach at halftime, and he said that he stressed during the locker room at halftime the fact that it was just one half of play. This 6-point lead means nothing if they go out here and don't produce here in the second half. Also, sophomore Aaron Elliott has a bruised shoulder. Coach tells me he will not return tonight with that bruised shoulder, guys.
Thank you very much, Rashawn, as Jones is tripped up at about the 22-yard line after about he picked it up around the 8-yard line. So a nice return by Jones, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
Nice return by Jones. Looks like he lost his footing there more than anything else. I think we'll see it start to come out from under him right about, there we go. That's what I thought. You saw the slide there, because he actually had a nice head of steam going.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. And the handoff on the double wing formation. And, you could really see the frustration in the eyes of Coach Kanak when he talked about the eye injury to Ricky Calderon, because they were rolling pretty good with that offense.
And as I said, you're now having to make some adjustments, and not only with Ricky Calderon being out, but now also with Chris Bailey being out, and Bailey is likely to be out for at least one more game. So they'll be making adjustments along the way. And right now, though, hey, with the crew they've got, and that's what you do, you work with what you got, they still right now trailing 23-14 are looking to get back into this with this opening drive of the second half.
Right now, the Leuzinger Olympian defense is really playing well, as it's now a loss on the play. And here's Griffiths with the handoff, and right back to about the original line of scrimmage is James, so he gains maybe 3 yards on the play.
So
and it'll be fourth down and 10. So Leuzinger's defense really playing well. Deontay Welsh on that series. Rufus is all over the place.
And dropping back in coverage, and you're right, Welsh played good defense there for the Olympians. Ramaje Williams back to receive the punt.
From Dejon Wills. Long snap count. Trying to get the Leuzinger Olympians offside. This is a high hanging punt, and it's fumbled by Williams, but then it's picked up again by Avila. Gets to midfield, and what a break there. Boy, when things are going your way, that's what you call your bounce.
Exactly. Cougar special teams coverage not there to take advantage of the fumble. Recovered by the Olympians, and guess what? This drive will start. They're going to spot it at the Cougar 49-yard line.
So that's good news for the Olympians, bad news for the Cougars, who trail by 9. Carrier bringing him out. Has McLennan at fullback. And Anthony Williams has dropped the ball again.
Another fumble.
He has to go back to get it, but he picks it up. And on top of him first is Kevin Gomez, trying to dig that thing out. Also there was number 13, who probably was brought up from the JV.
As we see the replay here, boy, he completely dropped in.
Never really had it. So this goes back to the 45, so a 4-yard loss.
Case of Butterfingers right now to start the second half for the Leuzinger Olympians. That's the first 2 times they've touched the ball. They've mishandled it here in the second, at the start of the third quarter.
Courtney Crockett split wide to the near side, and James to the far side. Carrier back to pass. Looking to the near side, it's picked up by the Henry Christian, the tight end, and he gains good yardage down into Hawthorne territory inside the 40-yard line, and that's good enough for a first down.
And I will say again, I got to tell you, John Carrier, good-looking quarterback right now to be a sophomore. That pass out to Henry Christian, a big target at 6'3", 185. And considering what we know about the Leuzinger basketball team, I got a funny feeling we may see him in the jersey and shorts in a couple of months.
Well, it's getting to be that time already. So 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of the Cougars. Carrier back to pass, throws down the middle, and it's caught inside the 30-yard line.
Wow, and
picked up there by, looks like Christian again.
Carrier close to being across the line of scrimmage on that play.
That's what I thought too. But they gave it to him. Down to the 26-yard line, so a 13-yard gain. James split wide to the right. Check that wide to the left, and that's Crockett. But this ball has gotten to Anthony Williams, who looks like he almost did one of those cartwheels. Thanks, Tom. And gets it inside the 25-yard line to about the 24, but it'll be second down at about 6.
2nd and 5 for the Olympians.
Judging by the crowd tonight, Lou, the Olympian fans not showing a lot of faith in their team so far this season. Rather sparse attendance by them. Perhaps next week at Olympian Field we'll see a different turnout, because they've actually got a very good football team.
They sure do. And a long pass down the left sideline, the far sideline, and that was intended for LaRon Barnes, and that's out of the reach, so it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Olympians. It's only the second incompletion in 8 attempts for John Carrier, the 5'8" sophomore.
And we talk about league play starting next week. Leuzinger, here's their schedule, fans, just so you know. They're at home hosting Palos Verdes. Then the week after that, they go to Peninsula, Redondo, Miracosta, and West. Torrance, that is.
Handoff goes to Anthony Williams, bounces out to the far side, still on his way, headed towards the end zone, and is finally hit out of bounds. And over there to help him out was Travion Maefao.
Looks like he got down inside the 10. They're going to spot it at about the 6-yard line.
So it's at the 6, a big run by Anthony Williams. 17 yards.
This Leuzinger team, Lou, showing that they've got a number of weapons.
That was number 13 belting him out of bounds, and that's given to the first man that Carrier sees, and not much real estate there. And that was to McLennan. And the ball is spotted just inside the 5-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal from there. Carrier brings him out. McLennan is the fullback. Anthony Williams is the halfback. Williams gets it, bounces inside, and strolls into the end zone for a 5-yard touchdown run. Touchdown Leuzinger, and that makes it 29-14 with 7:01 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
So, the Olympians take advantage of the short field. And just like that, Anthony Williams takes it in, as you said, from 5 yards out, as you see on the replay.
Mario Buccio, snap back, ball down, and up and through for the extra point. So that makes the score 30-14 in favor of the Olympians over the Hawthorne Cougars, on their way to another, perhaps another Mayor's Cup, unless Hawthorne can get something going against this Leuzinger defense that came out on fire in the second half. Let's show the touchdown.
Oh, there you see Williams finding his hole. Good blocking there by the offensive lineman. And boy, he went through Lou completely untouched. Excellent blocking by the offensive line of the Leuzinger Olympians.
Leah Alefosil, Andy Hernandez also there, and Tevin Posey just created the hole, just moved all the red jerseys out of the way. An 8-play drive that covered 49 yards. Capped off by Anthony Williams' 5-yard run. Mario Buccio getting ready to kick it off. Hammers it into the end zone again, and it'll be a touchback.
Another touchback. He's got 2 of those already tonight. Boy, that takes away. I think the kickoff return for a touchdown upset him just a little bit, Lou.
So all Medina Salam could do is just watch it go for a touchback. So here comes Shane Reif and the Cougars. Hands off to the man on the left, and that's James Griffiths. And a nice tackle by number 7, Irahan Avia.
But not until after Griffiths had picked up about 8 yards on the play, Lou, maybe even 9.
Yeah, they give him 9. Handoff again to Griffiths, and he gets the first down, no flags down. And this is about to the 32-yard line, so Griffiths can run it inside and outside.
Well, he is their feature back. Make no mistake about it. Of course, that's going to wear on them during the course of the season because teams start to key on you. They need to have another option just to keep the defenses honest.
And now the ball goes the other way. And a 3-yard carry again by Griffiths. Or was that no, that was number 6, Tofeaona.
Well, let's see.
Or did
Actually,
Griffiths? No, it was
again.
Griffiths. Okay, they fooled me. That's not hard to do. The ball again is handed off.
This time it's your guy, number 6, with the carry.
Tofeaona to the 34-yard line. They give him progress to the 35. So it's 3rd down and a long 6. So now they're going to call a timeout. Timeout on the field with 5:12 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 34-14 in favor of the Olympians. And Brian Robert Taylor has an update.
Quick update on Chris Bailey, number 1. He's going to be okay. We talked to the medical personnel. It's all confirmed. Just a precaution. They're taking him to the hospital for some checkups. The main thing is big loss for Hawthorne because he's kind of the heart and soul of this team. He plays both sides, plays safety and wide receiver. He's going to be missed. But the good news is he's going to be okay. He's going to play another day.
All right, thanks, Brian. And that's always good news. And, well, this has kind of slowed down a little bit here.
Well, it has, Lou, and that's because it's been a while since Hawthorne has done anything to get their crowd back into it. They haven't scored since the 11:52 mark of the 2nd quarter. So by and large, throughout the entire 2nd quarter, they were shut down, and here they're struggling here in the 3rd quarter on their 2nd possession of the quarter.
James Griffiths has 72 yards on 10 carries in the first half, and now this is Tofeaona on a nice fake, and it looks like he has the 1st down, and we got a penalty flag down right around the 36-yard line.
And that would.
So that nice run is going to come back.
And that's what I was going to say. I got to get it out a little bit quicker. I was going to say that's probably holding. These guys are quick with their signals, though, man. You know, I think we did a game a couple of weeks ago. The guys were taking forever. They throw the flag and, oh, okay, what is it? What is it? But they let you know real quickly. And, again, that crew is headed by David Badenoch. He's the R. They call him the white hat in football because he's the only official in the crew, the referee, and that's at all levels that wears the white hat. All the other officials wear black hats.
Back to about the 27-yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and long there. Actually, yeah, long, about 15 yards. That's how long. Maybe 16 yards.
Yeah. And now we got another flag on the play being thrown by the back judge. That's Greg Lawson. So he saw something from his vantage point, and he's looking primarily at the defense.
Tofeaona gained 9 yards, almost 10 yards on that play. Personal foul.
Wow.
Yep, talk about shooting yourself in the foot.
Well,
now
look,
the quarterback, is that out of the Wildcat there? Is that the Tofeaona?
That's what it looks like. Let's see where the frustration sets in, that there was a personal foul call. See if we can pick that up.
I didn't get to see that, but at any rate, the ball is going to go back to the 25-yard line again. Actually, no, this is going to go back almost to the 20-yard line, to the 21-yard line. So it's going to be a punt for Deshaun Willis as his 4th down at about 20. And back to receive the punt is LaRon James. And this is a high punt. And did it touch somebody? It touched somebody, and lots of bodies went all over the place. Hawthorne says they have it. And yes, they do.
Okay. Well, they pick up a big break there. You're right. It was a short kick. The Olympian return team was getting set up for a return. The ball was actually so short they didn't see that it was right behind them. And sure enough, we'll watch on the replay.
Must have hit off of number 7, Irahan Avila.
But at any rate, Cougars catch one of the rare breaks that they've gotten in this contest. And boy, they had a chance at a couple. They're about to give it away. Let's see, do they? Okay.
So that one is picked up by Tofea Ono, and lurking around was big number 58, and he is not on our deal there.
And so, Tofea Ono, really situation where he was in the right place at the right time.
So to the 40-yard line, and a pass by Tofea Ono, going for number 15, and just out of the reach. And again, number 15 is not on our list either.
Okay, so they've gone from Shane Rife was quarterback, and I thought Rife was doing a pretty good job. I mean, did something happen to him to now Tofea Ono? You go from a 6-foot guy who can look over the defense to a 5'7" guy who has to look around the defense.
I don't see Shane out there, but now the ball is handed off, and a gain of about 4 yards. So Griffiths gets right back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 4th down again.
Okay, well, that's something for us to note. Maybe
I'm just looking.
Rashawn or Brian can get us something on that, because I thought Rife was playing pretty good myself.
So did I. I don't see him down there myself. I don't see him on the bench. Trying to see if I see him out on the field right now as a receiver. No. But Willis, at any rate, about ready to kick the punt. And this is another high punt.
Good kick by Dejan Wills.
So 3:11 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Leuzinger takes over at their own 22-yard line.
And now the mystery, of course, is what happened to Shane Rife?
See number 8.
If you know, call us at 555-55-1212.
What happened to Rife? 1866. What happened to Shane? Shane, don't go.
That's right. Come back, Shane. Come back.
There he is. I see him down there right now.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Obviously.
We'll get to Rashawn in a second here as Carrier brings him out. Anthony Williams is the tailback, and he'll get the handoff and breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles.
Ball came loose.
I don't know.
They may say he was down, though, Lou.
Yeah, I don't know if he was down or not. That's what I was just going to say. And that's what the official's decision is he was clearly down. 24-yard line, and now let's go to Rashawn.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Obviously, this is the first Mayor's Cup for both of these coaches, and of course on the Leuzinger side is Reggie Grant. Now, he comes to Leuzinger after serving as the National Director of Football Operations for the NFL's Youth Impact and Academic Program. Not doing that anymore, he still remains the chairman of the board of the National Alliance of African American Athletes. The administration, upon the hiring of Coach Grant, said they feel like they have the entire package. And guys, you know, talking to him before the game, he feels like he's extremely in tune to these students and these athletes in terms of not only playing good football, but making sure they got their grades in order, making sure they're doing the things that they need to do so that they're not only productive football players, but productive people in this game of life. Guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rashawn, and that's good to know. They have a good person, a good people person and Reginald Grant, as his Olympians lead 30-14 after the incomplete pass. It's 2nd down and 7 yards to go for the Olympians. Anthony Williams is the tailback, and he gets the pitch going around the left side. Nice block by McLennan, still a nice block. Gets the 1st down and is pushed out of bounds just before the 40-yard line. Looks like it's going to be a 1st down. There are no flags.
No flags and more than enough for the 1st down for the Olympians.
And that's going to be marked at the 39. So a 15-yard run for Anthony Williams, who has 2 touchdowns, and that's his 3rd 1st down. Anthony had 5 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown in the first half. As you see the tough run there. Carrier back to pass, looks to the right, now throws down the middle, throwing deep down the field for Barnes, and just out of the reach of Laurent.
Out of the reach of Laurent. Good defensive coverage by the Cougar over on that side. Can't see who it is, but he's a guy crossing the 45 now. But good coverage by him. He was with him stride for stride.
That's the new kid, Damian James. Playing a good game tonight, as you see all the Hawthorne faithful. And then on the other side of the field, Courtney Crockett was saying, who's on the near side, he was saying, hey, I was wide open, Carrier. I still got this guy on me here. Look for me. So let's see if they're going to pass on 2nd and 10. They're going to. As Carrier flushed out of the pocket, throws it to Crockett, and boy, a nice play as Crockett got zipped by number 16, and again, don't have a number on him. Probably coming up for the JV, but you see him laying in the weeds? Oh, that's Medina Salam, excuse me. And then a roughing the passer call.
Okay.
Just missed that one on the replay.
So
and a nice play by Salam.
Right, I was going to say that they were saying that the coverage by Salam was okay, but while we were following the ball, there was contact against the Leuzinger quarterback, John Carrier.
So it'll be 1st down after the 15-yard march inside Hawthorne territory, and that's too bad for the Hawthorne defense. So it's now at the 46-yard line. 1:44 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 30-14, Leuzinger leads. Carrier, high pitch. Anthony gets it down and runs out of bounds into his own sideline. After a 3, maybe a 4-yard gain. We'll call it a 3-yard gain, where it'll be 2nd down and 7.
So the Olympians content right now, although they've taken a couple of shots at it in the air, to run the clock on the Cougars, because if you don't have the ball, it's hard to win.
That's true. 1:39 with the clock stopped. Devin Posey, the center, first one out of the huddle for the Olympians. Crockett to the near side, James to the right.
Looks like we're going to have a delay of game penalty. Either got, well, let's see what the referee tells us. Well, there's delay of game because they're marking it back.
So it goes back to the 46, almost the 47-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 11. Anthony Williams is the tailback. McLennan is the fullback. Carrier going to keep it. Gets hit once, twice in the backfield, and is brought down. And that's Chance Kennedy, chasing him down. And we have a Cougar down. And that's Travion Maefao. Let's hope he just got the wind knocked out of him.
First aid crew very quick to get to him. And boy, he's still in a prone position, so we'll have to wait and see.
So it'll be third down at about 13, Rufus, from the 47-yard line. After no gain, Carrier doing a good job just to get back to the line of scrimmage on that one. So the Cougars have already lost Chris Bailey tonight. Earlier in the week, they lost their sophomore quarterback, Ricky Calderon, to an eye injury. Also out with an ankle injury is Lamond Akins, their star defensive back, and one of their wide receivers. Shane Reif was called into service as the quarterback, but now we haven't seen him in the second half, although we see him kneeling next to James Griffiths.
And looks like we got Mr. Taylor with another interview.
All right, let's go down to Brian Robert.
Result on an injured player. We got a player down here at Hawthorne. We got Coach T just for a couple seconds. Coach T, when you were coming out of the locker room right after halftime, you kept saying, "Swarm the rock, swarm the rock." Care to elaborate?
Yeah, that's just a term for it that we use. The rock as a football, and we're trying to get the defenders to the ball, trying to get all our 11 defenders to the ball. So that's what we're saying. We want to swarm the rock.
Okay, man, thanks so much. Good luck tonight.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Brian. And again, down on the field is Travion Maefao. And they're working on one of his legs. So why don't we take a timeout here? It looks like this is going to be a while. And the score of the Mayor's Cup, 30-14 in favor of Leuzinger. A minute and a half left to go in the third quarter on Channel 22 Sports. And getting back up on his feet is number 63 for Hawthorne, Travion Maefao. And that's always good news. Coming off under his own steam.
Well, I think he wishes he was under somebody else's steam instead of his own, because he still got a winch there, but as you can see, nonetheless coming off and looking good. And that is always a great sign when you see any injured athlete walk off under their own power.
Yeah, let's hope it's a cramp and nothing more than that. So looks like Jonathan Dixon may be taking his place.
Gives us a quick chance to mention, saw A.J. Brevard in the house tonight,
right.
Here to cheer on his Hawthorne Cougars. Boy, basketball player extraordinaire for the Cougars the last couple of years. Graduated, of course, with the class of 2010, A.J. Brevard.
Anthony Williams gets out of the tackle right at the line of scrimmage and then goes down to about the 40-yard line.
Let's see where they spot. It's going to make it about a 4th and 4, long 4, short 3, depending on what they do.
Yeah, close to 5.
Interesting decision for the Olympian coaching staff, and, well, they didn't hesitate. They're going for it.
You're in their 4-down territory right now. Carrier looking over the situation. Hands the ball off to Williams. Williams trying to pull his way, and nice tackling. And that's DeJohn Williams. And also in there, number 48's another one of our unsung heroes that we can't give recognition to. And a good job by the Cougars as they get the ball back with 27 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
So great defensive hold that time, Lou, by the Cougars. The Cougar defense, they were challenged. Leuzinger said, we're going to put you to the test. And, hey, the Cougars passed the test.
So a 3-yard gain for Anthony Williams. Not enough. As the Cougars come out Tofea Ono is the quarterback, and he keeps it and squirts out from underneath the bottom of the pile. And the Leuzinger Olympian said, how did he do that?
Of course, the officials mark him down where his knee made contact initially with it. Somebody keep an eye on Rashawn. He's got the mayor's cup in his hand. You want to make sure he doesn't get out of here with that.
It's the only trophy he's ever won, or had in his hands, isn't it?
And he's holding on to it pretty tight.
As the quarter comes to an end, 30-14, we'll take a timeout here on Channel 22 Sports. Before the fourth quarter gets underway, why don't we go down to Rashawn Haylock?
Thanks a lot, guys. Here it is. This is what they're playing for, boys. The Mayor's Cup. Leuzinger has held on to this thing since 2002. Last time they lost this game was in 01. Coincidentally, the score was 15-14. So far, you look up at the scoreboard, Hawthorne only has 14 points up there right now. Also, guys, you've been doing this game for a while. I'm going to go back in time a little bit. 2004, that was the last time Hawthorne entered this game with a win the previous week. They also lost that game as well. Guys.
Thank you for the good news, Rashawn. Gee whiz, he's a bearer of good tidings, huh?
He is, and he's a history buff.
That's right.
Who would have thunk it?
Hawthorne trying to move the ball, and nice run by the Cougars, a 4-yard run. Getting up off the bottom of the pile is James Griffiths, number 4. Shane Reif is out there as a wide receiver, and he's calling the plays.
Okay, well, so they're mixing them in, using them a little bit differently. Okay, yeah, you're right. He's back in the slot.
Out of the shotgun, Tofea Ono, actually the Wildcat, I would say, up to the 50-yard line. And it looks like it's going to be a first down for the Cougars. Right at the 50-yard line, a 7-yard gain for La.
Now, maybe, part of this, Lou, is kind of like in football and baseball as we watch the replay here. Good run to get it across midfield.
And a nice block by Kevin Gomez. So fourth quarter just underway, 11:05 left to go. And flags all over the place. Shane Reif jumped around, so did some of the Olympians. Maybe the line did as well. So let's see, it looks like they're going to go backwards.
Yep.
Oh,
that's the Olympians are going to go backwards.
Okay.
Well, you were right either way. Somebody's going to move backwards. Just
right.
that. This time it was the Olympians. Although the officials, the way they initially huddled, certainly made us think that it was going to be the Cougars. So the Cougars catch a good break.
Steven Gonzalez, the center for the Cougars, brings him out. Shane Reif gets the handoff, and uh-oh, look out. Gets hit behind the line, and somehow Reif slithers through. What do you have, some chicken fat on him or something?
Now you've got a late flag because that may have been a spearing call against the Olympians.
Personal foul on the Olympians.
Yep.
That was a good get there. Good read. A lot of JV players playing tonight.
And get right.
You don't have their numbers.
Don't have their numbers, but hey, they're welcoming the opportunity. Well, we don't have their names. We got their numbers.
That's right.
But having said that, so it's up to them to get us their name.
It'll be first and 10 at the 26-yard line for
And Rife made something out of nothing on that play. Remember when the play started, looked like he was going to be taken down for a 5-yard loss, and instead he turns it into a huge gain, draws a penalty on it. So they pick up about 20 yards on the play because it was a 15-yard penalty.
That's right, exactly. So pushing the pile forward ever so slowly are the Cougars.
Now, what I was going to say earlier is kind of like in baseball where you have a pitcher and a catcher that work together. Hey, let's see, we got the replay coming in here for
Looks
a
like
moment.
Rife with the keeper.
And now as we look at it,
Ball is handed off, and a big hit.
that was Griffiths with the run. And was that Avila with the, or Crockett with the hit?
Looked like a Villa with the hit.
Okay.
So now that's first down.
Cougars got some positive momentum going, Lou. They're trying to convert this into a scoring opportunity for themselves. They're in the red zone. Let's see what their red zone offense can do. Rife back under center.
Griffiths up the middle. Gets caught in a pile of dust. White and red jerseys all tangled up. And a nice 4-yard gain. And so the Hawthorne running game starting to loosen up the Olympian defensive line. So a 4-yard gain by James. That's his next carry, Rufus, will be his 20th carry of the game.
Well, he's been a workhorse for him both times that we've seen the Olympians. I mean,
Now Griffiths again. Looks like he's headed for the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Cougars.
13-yard touchdown run for James Griffith.
8:54 left to go in the fourth quarter, and now it's a 10-point deficit. And they'll probably go for the 2-point conversion. There you see the replay, Rufus. Good blocking up front.
And who's leading the way on the blocking? That's Rife, dear.
Shane Rife and his best friend Kevin Gomez. So here comes the 2-point conversion try. Tofea Ono gets the snap out of the Wildcats and burrows his way close and in. 2-point conversion, so that makes it an 8-point game with 8:54 left to go, 30-22, and the Cougars are saying, not yet. So that was a nice long drive put together by the Cougars. It started with 27 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and now 8:54 left to go in the ball game.
So a great scoring drive that time by the Hawthorne Cougars. Boy, and that was what they needed. Now, say what you will, and I don't know if the John Wells can kick off of a tee or not.
And
I should have, okay, and I was going to say I should have a little bit better command of the rules to know whether, and I think you have to kick off the tee rather than kick from a standing punt. Well, they didn't. They tried it again. Now that time, they actually tried it. That was an onside kick. I think we may have, folks, tonight witness history, because I'm not certain that we've ever seen, I believe at last count, 4 onside kicks in one game. They've scored, well, if they've got 22 points, that means they've scored at least 3 times, and they had the opening kickoff, so that's 4. Four onside kicks in one game may well be a new world record.
Inside the Cougar territory, Carrier going downfield, almost intercepted by Damian James. The ball was intended for number 9, Courtney Crockett, Rufus.
The problem for Damian James, Lou, is that if he was just 2 inches tall, and it looks like another half inch might have done it for him.
Yeah, he's met him before the game. A nice young man. He looks like he might even be a freshman. Yeah.
If he were a junior, then he'd have had that one, because he'll have those 2 more inches in another 2 years.
Carrier is 0 for 4 in his last 4 pass attempts. Anthony Williams with it, and he picks his way through and rams his way into the secondary. And 7 or 8 yards to go.
Good run by Williams. Boy, you talk about tiptoeing through the hole and finding the blank spots. That's exactly what he did there, and it was good for 7 yards.
So it'll be 3rd down and 3 as Tevin Posey leads him out. Carrier has Ivan McLennan behind him and Anthony Williams dotting the I.
Wow,
a little bit of a mix-up. Carrier gets the 1st down, though. And gets down to the 36-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians.
Well, you'll take it. Carrier turned around and handed off to one of his backs, and no one was there, and go, oops, you know.
But the blocking scheme was still there, so he just followed the blockers.
So, boy, you talk about, and again, I was going to say a big 3rd down play for the Cougar defense. They failed to hold on that one, so it's a new set of downs for the Olympians. Still plenty of time left, fans. 8 minutes, clock running left in this contest.
So a 7-yard gain for Carrier. Now Williams has it, looking for running room. Boy, he's one of those typical water bug runners that Leuzinger is famous for bringing out.
And they've had a bunch of them over the years. Of more recent vintage, of course, was Mark Rogers. And we saw last couple of years featured the
San Luis
arm.
Obispo last time we heard, right?
Is that where he is now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. No wonder I didn't see him in the West Virginia game. I kept looking and looking and looking.
So now
well, that's his 3rd school.
Right.
Since he left here.
Yeah, at least he's back in California. This is a short drive up, a beautiful drive up to the Central Coast Winery.
Absolutely.
Area. Carrier trying to pass it over, and it's caught over the head of Barnes and walks into the end zone for a touchdown over Medina Salam. Touchdown Olympians. It's 36-22.
Great run by great pass by Carrier, I should say. That pass to LaRon Barnes. That's Barnes' 2nd touchdown of the game.
And that's 32 yards on the pass. And there you see Carrier had great protection. And just a jump ball right over Medina Salam.
Yeah.
Beautiful catch.
Jump ball, and Carrier with or Barnes, I should say, at 6'2", with the height advantage.
And Buccio kicks the extra point. And now the score is 36-22. It should be 37-22.
Okay. So the Olympians answer with a touchdown of their own and extend the lead back out to 15 points.
That's right, and another short field to work with too, Rufus. Six plays on that drive, 49 yards. Buccio getting ready to kick things off. And another big boot. And this is going to go into Deion Jones' hands inside the 5-yard line and picking his way through and almost eludes the final tackler at about the 26-yard line. And that tackle was made by Jabari Matthew.
And you're right, he was one broken tackle away from taking it to the house, as we watch on the replay here. Had him by the shirt tail. See, that's why your mother tells you always tuck your shirt in. You know, if you just listen, that's why you don't have a touchdown right now, because you didn't tuck your shirt in like your mama told you to. Shane Wright has his tucked in, though.
Past the 50-yard line, and a big first down run for La Tofeaono, and a touchdown-saving tackle by
that was
Irahan
Rife,
Avila. Or is that Rife?
That was actually Shane Rife on the carry.
Okay, fooled me. Don't know if he's... Oh, he's okay there. So he just landed hard. Also landed on that where the long jump area. So we have a timeout going on right now as Shane is down after the big gain. Ball is spotted about the 46-yard line of the Olympians.
Yeah, wow.
So a 20-yard gain for Shane, but boy, he paid for it.
He paid for it, but a good-looking run for Rife.
Actually, no, that was 30-yard gain.
And Rife showing his versatility here. He's played a little quarterback, wide receiver, running back.
He can do it all.
Yeah.
And he impressed us against Lawndale, that's for sure, too, as the wide receiver. Shane looking a little woozy. Maybe just landed real rough on that
I think it's in his hip, Lou. As you say,
there's
from
another
the way
pole vault landing area, running area there. So maybe you landed on that. And he's talking to the medical personnel, the head of the medical staff. He says, see, I'm okay.
Yeah. And you're exactly right, because that's what I was saying. He's trying to convince him that he's okay. Of course, he has to come out for at least a play. We'll watch him here on the sideline. Yeah.
There's a little ginger walking around, a little gingerly. So that'll be Tofeaono taking the snap out of the Wildcat, hands it off to Griffiths right up the middle, and gains about 4, maybe 5 yards. Now they take it back a little bit for where James landed. An about 3-yard gain, we'll call it. So down to the 43. It'll be 2nd down and 7. And that was the 21st carry for James Griffiths. As you see Coach Koenig. Out of the Wildcat again. Tofeaono going to keep this one and just outrunning everybody. Finally runs into Avila, but not before a Hawthorne first down.
Gave Devin Christie a little taste of it as well. He happened to get in the way. And you're right.
He's a little fireplug.
Tofeaono is pretty much like, I don't think you want to get in the way of this right here. There you see Christie, and boy, and he just got a small piece of it.
Tofeaono says, I like that so much I'm going to do it again. And then behind him, Ivan McLennan says, oh, no, you don't.
Right. Of course, McLennan, big 6'3", 215-pound senior.
Think we might see him on the basketball court?
I think it may see him as well. Boy, this is liable. We haven't had a chance to look very deeply into the Olympian program, but basketball team this year. But quick note, we do know that Coach Reggie Morris is no longer the head coach there, and they're in a rebuild. Ball's loose. Come on.
Snap is fumbled.
Oh, man. Leuzinger has it.
Yes, it is. Number 29 picked it up, Arnell Warren. And now we have a penalty flag. It's got to be a personal foul. People starting to bark at each other, and now they're asking the referee.
Keeping them separated, and that's number.
And now Tofeaono should put his hat back on. He may get another penalty.
Yeah.
It's been a good night, although a frustrating one for La Tofeaono. He's worked really hard, and I'm sure didn't want to lose that.
No, didn't want to lose it.
Especially on a good drive.
The Right now, his teammates trying to get him, hey, look, let's keep our composure. We're going to need you in this game. And, of course, CIF rule, if you are in fact, and he's nowhere close at this point to having been ejected, but just fans, so that you're aware, if the game you're ejected in, you're obviously out of that game, but by rule, you are also out of the next game. But right now, that's not an issue here, but it's a reason you want to maintain control of your emotions.
So a nice drive was being put on by the Cougars, an encouraging drive.
And Rife being retaped there is what he came out for. Just had a shot of that. Great camera work. I believe that was Jeff Lim's camera.
No, that's Norma.
That was normal. Okay, King.
Carrier has a man wide open, has to wait for the ball. Courtney Crockett has it, looking for the end zone, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Leuzinger. And another helmet gets tossed.
Okay.
And that was number 81, Stephen Gant. So that will be tacked on somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, that'll be on the kickoff.
But what a beautiful pass by Carrier. And there's the unsportsmanlike conduct call. And now we have another foul flag called.
Okay. And right now,
So
if you're the Hawthorne coaching staff, what you need more than anything else is a timeout. And sometimes if you won't take one, the officials will give you one. And when I say give, that is they want to maintain control of the game. And so one of the things that they'll do is say to the coaches, look, get your guys under control. We don't want to have to stop this or end this game at this point.
So that was Crockett's first catch, a big one, a 48-yard touchdown. So let's wait for the extra point to be tacked on, or the attempt made at any rate. So two personal foul calls, and now Coach Kanak wants to get an explanation from one of the officials.
Sorry.
And who is that he's getting the...
That's Lawson. That's the back judge, actually. Ordinarily, you would think he'd be talking to the referee, who's the man in charge.
I think that was the person who threw the second personal foul call, unsportsmanlike call, so maybe he wanted an explanation from the horse's mouth.
Leuzinger on to try the PAT.
So Omar Buccio getting ready to try to tack on the extra points. Snap back, ball down, kick is good. 5:21 left to go in the ball game. 44-22. Leuzinger in control of this version of the Mayor's Cup. Let's go down to Rashawn.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Leuzinger linebacker Aaron Elliott left the game in the first half with that bruised shoulder, but he's still very much in this game. After that last forced fumble by the Olympians, the first one out there to congratulate his defensive teammates, Elliott. He could only give high fives with his left hand, but he still got it done, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rashawn. And, well, the Cougars have really dug themselves a hole. That one-play drive, 48 yards, after such an encouraging drive by the Cougars, and then all of a sudden things started to fall apart, and the Cougars get 3 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in 2 plays.
Absolutely, and you're right, Lou. They were within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion at 30-22 with 8:54 left, and just 4 minutes later, they now find themselves down, doubled up at 44 for Olympians, 22 for the Hawthorne Cougars.
James to the near side, waiting for Buccio's kick.
Okay.
And Salam to the right side. So now here comes.
All right, and I was thinking,
that's one of them.
Okay. Well.
So the 2 personal foul penalties are marked off right now.
Well, and you know what? Hey, let me say this real quick. Actually, if you're Leuzinger, you'd be better served an onside kick.
I was just thinking, why kick it out of the end zone? We can just kick it into the ground.
I would try an onside kick. There's a big hole right there, and try to get it. That's actually, believe it or not, it might seem like rubbing salt in the wound, but it's actually the best play that they could run in this circumstance.
Let's see what Mario does. And he does just that.
Okay.
And it goes out of bounds, penalty. And let's see if Hawthorne either takes the penalty and makes them do it over, or nope, looks like they're just going to.
Well, Hawthorne will take the penalty. Now, what's going to be interesting when the kickoff sails out of bounds is that it's actually going to come out to the 40-yard line.
Okay.
So, believe it or not, Leuzinger, let's see wherever they spot it, it's going to be a negative kick.
That's right. It's going to be
it's a negative 5 yards.
Okay.
So it's almost like he kicked the ball backwards.
And well, the Santa Ana winds aren't blowing yet.
And I think that's what the officials are talking about. This is one of those rare things they're going, well, wait a second. How does it kick from the 30 and end up? Well, that's because it kicked.
Well, this has been a strange things indeed game. 5:21 left to go. Hawthorne has it on their own 35-yard line, and they're just trying to straighten stuff out.
Right.
As the referee's talking to Hawthorne.
That's David
Madden.
That's
good fortune for them.
Right.
And let's hope that cooler heads prevail and the Cougars can get back to work and come down and answer that 48-yard touchdown pass from Carrier to Crockett. But yet, you said it, Rufus, and even Coach Kanak said it. The same thing. They got the Olympians have a lot of size. They have a lot of speed, and when Coach Kanak said it, I was wondering if this was before the Olympians arrived in their bus, and was just wondering if in fact he was just trying to sell me on the Olympians. But when they walked off the bus, it's like, oh my goodness. These are some big guys.
There's some big guys, and there's some athletic guys.
Oh yeah.
And in all fairness to the officiating crew, I mean, they're having to huddle up to sort this thing all
it's like,
out.
how do we write this in our report?
Right.
So I'm not going to do it. You're wearing the white hat.
What we do know is that it will be Hawthorne's football.
Maybe they're talking about, well, do you want these guys to kick it over?
Nah.
So illegal procedure now called against the Olympians.
Okay, so they're going to take the penalty, and now they're going to have Busio kick again. Or is it?
I don't know. I think.
Well, it becomes a dead ball penalty, I believe. If it's a procedure, and I thought I saw the left side of the Olympian line go before Busio kicked. So then that means the play is dead at that point. Is what we got. The play is dead at the point of the. I think. Well, let's think this thing through again.
Mm-hmm.
Doggone, they got us all confused now.
Everybody
in the stadium is figuring out what the heck is going on. And we're up here trying to do the same thing because what we don't know is where the penalty is enforced at. But with Busio being out there, it looks like
no one touched it. He kicked it out of bounds on the far side.
Looks like he's got to kick it again.
Is that a procedure call?
Right. Well, the procedure was the fact that the left side of his line left before he actually kicked it.
Okay.
All right. That's that. Now you got another flag.
So they're talking to Coach Kanak. Yeah, they just threw another flag. So an unsportsmanlike called on the Olympians. So now it's going to go back even further. It sounds like somebody must have chirped off on the defense. That's what that tells me.
Here's the problem, though. So now if it's unsportsmanlike, they're going to back him up 15 yards from here. That's going to put him at the 50. So now that means Busio is going to kick it away. He's going to kick it into the end zone. And so it's all going to come back out to the 20. We could just save some trouble, put the ball at the 20-yard line, and let's go for it.
And that's one of those automatic things where you can't decline that penalty.
Right.
So that if I was Coach Kanak, I'd say, no. Let me have it here at the 35.
Exactly.
But that's one of those automatic deals. Okay.
Oh, boy. You're right.
When you think you've seen it all.
So now Hawthorne's going to end up losing 15 yards.
Well, no, now actually 30 because the ball's at the 50.
Exactly. But here's what I'm saying. The ball's going to go. Hawthorne would have had the ball at the 35-yard line. It's now going to go into the end zone, and it's going to come out to the 20.
Right.
So that's a loss of 15 yards if you're Hawthorne.
Right. Well, see, the ball is at the 50 now.
And where do you think Busio's going to put it? Right.
Right. So now it's at the 20, so 30.
Yeah. Well, it's getting ready to go in the end zone.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah,
Okay.
there it goes, and I think Buccio was too tired, but now it's this dead ball anyway after Deion James and Dejon Willis let it go, and it touched James, but it is a touchback after all that.
After all that, and now it comes out to the 20. And if you're the Cougars, you're none too happy about any of that. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's a good thing that our technical wizard, Tom Strickfat, doesn't have to use videotape anymore, just hard drive space. We'd have to go back over to one of the big box stores to get another videotape. This is a handoff up to about the 25-yard line, and that's James Griffiths. That's his 25th carry or 22nd carry of the evening, and I'm out of room on him.
Well, again, he's been their workhorse, and I sometimes wonder about his durability over the course of a season. Not so much about whether he can do it, but just the wear and tear. The wear and tear on.
Well, that's wear and tear on Tofea Ono right now.
On Mr.
Curtis
and
Johnson.
Mrs. Griff's son. Now he's a fire plug at 5'6", 200 pounds.
So 2-yard loss. Reif hands it off or no?
No.
Little misdirection on the reverse to Griffiths, and Leuzinger causes another 1-yard loss. Back to the 22.
And so it's a 4th and 8.5 for the Cougars. They need to get it out to the 30. They're at about the 22. Well, they're going to punt, obviously.
Irahan Avia is back to receive the punt from Dejon Willis with 3:29 left to go in the ball game. 44-22, Leuzinger leads, and look out. Willis did a good job just to get that high snap.
And I think the official may have missed it. If he spots it there, one of the Olympians actually kicked the ball an extra 4, not Olympians, but Cougars, and that's what the back judge is saying. Hey, you missed it. The guy, one of the Cougars actually made contact with the ball and knocked it forward.
I think that might have been a Chance Kennedy. So 4 and out for the Cougars on that drive. 3:08 left to go.
Now I've got 44-22, and that's what Luz got. But what does the board have?
Didn't I say 44-22?
Yeah. No, I'm just looking here.
Oh,
Our crack crew in the truck, they've got 43.
Okay, 44-22. Ball pitched back to Anthony Williams, trying to go around the right end. A flag down, and about a 7-yard gain.
44-22 in favor of the Leuzinger Olympians with 2:58 left. Right now, both coaches really more interested in seeing this thing play its way out. And
no more injuries.
Exactly, and you move on to next week's contest.
So a holding call brings this one back 10 yards. Back to the 20-yard line.
And it looks like Coach K has taken off the headset, which, and again, that's another one of those signs at every level of football. When you see the coach take the headset off, which means I won't say stop coaching, but the point is, again, guys, let's play, let's get out of here, and let's get in the locker room, let's regroup and get back on the practice field on Monday.
Out of the eye, giving it to McLennan. The fullback has a lot of room, and everybody wants to get out of his way. Into fifth gear goes McLennan. He tripped up. Now he starts up again. Has a blocker in front of him. Uses him. Down to the 15. Inside the 15-yard line. Big run by McLennan. Ivan McLennan just rumbling his way. And really showed some speed there as well, Rufus.
Showed some speed, but the Cougar defense helped him out a whole lot because not a very not a very aggressive
Watch this one. No,
tackling scheme.
I don't want that guy to hit me.
Exactly. Now, McLennan also running over some folk, giving him some credit, but there were, wow, the ball actually came loose.
Okay.
And he caught it again.
A 65-yard gain. So maybe we will see him on the basketball court if he's got that kind of hand-eye coordination.
The ball actually came loose while he was running. He fumbled, recovered the fumble, and kept going. And now Williams goes up the middle, and he's dragging folks as he gets down inside the 5.
And Kevin Gomez on the tackle. So a 9-yard gain for Williams, who has 16 carries now.
And unmercifully, there are 2 minutes and 21 seconds left in the contest. Leuzinger knocking on the door again.
So it's a second down. Actually, it was at the 15-yard line. So at the 4-yard line, this should be first and goal, right?
First and goal. Sideline markers are down.
So an 11-yard gain for
down marker spotted inside the 5 at about the 3.
Williams trying to fight his way into the corner, and Rufus just called it touchdown for the Olympians, and that makes it 50-22 with 1:49 left in the ball game. So a 4-yard run by Williams. I believe that might be his 3rd touchdown of the night. Yes, it is.
He's got a 2, a 4 you've given him there, and a 10. So he's got 3 touchdown runs. The quarterback has 3 touchdown passes. That's John Carrier.
Bad snap, and Omar takes the brunt of it. So the score will remain 50-22 with 1:49 left, Rufus.
Extra point.
PATNG.
50-22. Just like you said, and let's see, and that's what they've got on the board. There you see it, Hawthorne, Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. They see bad snap because Booster has been on fire all night with his extra point attempts as well as his kickoffs.
And Rufus, Anthony Williams has had the bulk of the carries for Leuzinger. Has had 11 carries here out of his 16 here in the second half. So that was a 3-play drive that took a little more than 1 minute and 15. And it did cover 80 yards. The big play, of course, the McLennan 65-yard dash.
It's going to be interesting to see this Leuzinger football team once they get into Bay League action.
Omar Buccio with a long line drive kick, and Damian Jones picks it up at about the 5. Has one man to beat and beats him. That's Christie. And still on his feet, the tough little guy from Hawthorne gets up to the 40-yard line. Great run back by Damian Jones, showing lots of toughness.
Even greater, to tightrope the sideline, because I got to tell you, I thought at one point, but the side judge was right there that he had stepped out of bounds. Let's watch the replay, fans. Here's something the Hawthorne Cougars can be proud of and hang their hat on for the night. Nice return. Stayed in bounds.
Okay. The official right there.
Medina Salam.
So I'm sorry about that. I thought that was Damian James. He's number 14. Is that Bailey back in the game? No, that's Griffiths, but there was another face mask.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. That'll be another big 15 yards, so that's going to take it down to
Watch
about
this,
the
Rufus.
40.
Hits the tackler, hits him, and plant. Was that Ivan McLennan? Just a 5-yarder? Oh, wow.
I'm sure the Hawthorne running back is going to say, my goodness, what have we got to do to get a 15-yarder? Because, in fact, I thought that was almost with bad intentions, that was close to getting you thrown out of here, to be honest with you, Lou.
That's right, as we saw Harold Hoffman, former player and student at Leuzinger, and now there goes the running back for the Cougars, and that was Griffiths again, but he gets inside the 35-yard line, and the Cougars playing right down to the wire on this one, no matter what the score is. So it's down to the 33-yard line. So a 27-yard carry for James Griffiths.
And again, Griffiths one tackle away, I should say, from breaking that one. Boy, he hits the hole with a bunch of speed, Lou.
He sure does. Down to the 25-yard line, so that was an 7-yard gain.
And to be a little man at 5'6", 200, he doesn't burn a lot of time and energy trying to find the side. He goes straight up the middle.
Shane Reif back at quarterback. Tofea Ono gets the pitch this time as they go left, following Shane Reif's block. Tofea Ono squirts out and into the end zone. Touchdown, Hawthorne. 34.6 seconds left. Let's see, is there a flag on the field?
25-yard, 26-yard run. Wow, well, we're running out of paper, that's for sure.
No flags, so they're going to try the 2-point conversion, I'm sure. With 35 seconds left, 50-28 is the score. Reif hands it off, and into the end zone is James Griffiths with the 2-point conversion. So 25-yard run by La Tofea Ono.
As you see the replay again, that's what I was talking about. Tofea Ono, boy, he breaks the line of scrimmage, and once he breaks it, he's got clear sailing, 25-yard TD run.
Griffiths with the 2-point conversion. There you see it there. Good blocking by the Cougars. So that makes the score
50-30. Wow, 80-point outburst.
Well, let's see if they can get, they being the Cougars, can get one of these 2-point conversions to go their way.
Yeah. Well, they're certainly going to give it a shot here. They already have attempted what, four of them in this game, and this will be number 5.
34.6 seconds left, so that was 1:02 time of the drive. 5 plays.
Well, okay, they got offsides against the Olympians. Didn't go 10 yards, but I guess it doesn't have to before it was touched by, has to go 10 yards before it's touched by the kicking team.
Okay.
But the receiving team can certainly step up and recover it at any point.
So that'll go back to the 35. And 5 plays, 60 yards, a minute 2. 25-yard touchdown run by La Tofeaono. That's his first touchdown of the night.
Okay, so now the new 10-yard mark becomes the 45-yard line.
Chris Bailey and Griffiths with the other touchdowns. And this one goes
Still, okay, it was loose for a moment, but the Olympians recovered it. And again, they get yet another short field.
That's marked at the 49-yard line, so should be about 30 seconds left. No time off the clock because no one put it in play. So the ball is at the Leuzinger 49-yard line. With a 50-30 lead. And Mayor Harold Hoffman 30 seconds away, 34.6 seconds away from keeping the trophy safely secured and locked in the foyer, the lobby of Lawndale City Hall. And that should just about do it. James Carrier genuflecting there.
Takes a knee. I don't think they had, and I think they have to snap it one more time, Lou.
That's right, with the 25-second clock. And they just might just go ahead and let it go. And they just will take the penalty on this one, I guess. Or when did it start? So this is going to do it. About 3.6.
Well, that's the official signal that game's over, even though it stops with 3.6 seconds left. Essentially what you have is a white flag being raised by the Hawthorne Cougars. In other words, I mean, they could have contested and say, hey, give us the penalty and make them come back out, but Coach K not too much of a sportsman. He realizes, I mean, this one's done.
Yep. And we'll just take everything and go home and work on next week for the league opener. So 50-30 was the final score, with the Leuzinger Olympians keeping the Mayor's Cup, and they've had it going on 10 years now. Next year will be the 10th edition to see if they can do that. And let's go down to Brian Robert Taylor.
Okay, well, that's the story tonight. It's 50-30. Leuzinger won over Hawthorne. We have the Mayor Hoffman here. It is the Mayor's Cup. He's about to turn the cup over with my colleague Rashawn in just a minute. But what were your impressions about the game tonight? We're talking about there's no quit in either team, is there?
I thought the whole game was well fought. It was well prepared, and I thought both teams represented their schools very, very well.
We appreciate you coming out tonight, Mayor. We're going to have you turn over the cup in just a few minutes, everybody, so stay tuned. Lots more coming up.
All right.
All right, thank you very much, Brian. And why don't we take a quick timeout and see if we can add up some stats for you here. Final score: Mayor's Cup stays in the hands of the Olympians, 50-30 on Channel 22 Sports. Four. Huh? Okay. All right. Yeah. Back here, the Mayor's Cup is won by Leuzinger High School, 50-32. Let's go down to Rashawn Haylock.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Coach Grant and Mayor Hoffman. Leuzinger winning the Mayor's Cup once again, 9th season in a row. So they knock off Hawthorne here tonight. Mayor, I know you've been waiting for this all night long. You're getting used to this, right?
Sweating it out a little bit too there on the third quarter there when they got within 8 points of us. But you guys did very, very well. You represented us well. You stood by my alumni. I'm alumni of Leuzinger High School. 60 years ago, though. I know what it's like to get beat up out there a little bit. So, hey, I want to say from the mayor's seat in the city of Lawndale, you guys represented us more than we ever expected or more than we deserve. You have done us a tremendous job tonight, but I didn't see any quitting on either team. And I have to give Hawthorne their due respect because they did a tremendous job tonight. But we want to recognize you guys for representing the city of Leuzinger, the city of Lawndale, and the school of Leuzinger, and the coach that's representing our city at this juncture in our time. And I've been doing this for longer than you guys have been born, probably, because I've got 21 years as the mayor of the city of Lawndale, so I'm sure that you guys aren't that old. But, Coach, we want to say to you and to your players, thank you a great deal for what you've shown for us tonight.
Appreciate it. The guys have worked hard. It's a culmination of a lot of effort so far, so we're glad to be able to bring the Mayor's Cup home and keep it at Leuzinger.
They told me earlier that they just brought this tonight just to visit Hawthorne.
Coach Grant, first win of the season, first win for you as the Leuzinger head coach, and it happens to be here in the Mayor's Cup. How sweet is this for you?
Well, it's a great start to the tradition we hope to build here at Leuzinger, and you know, the guys have worked hard. It's just a matter of moving forward and being disciplined and keep doing what we need to do.
As the mayor mentioned a little while ago, this one was a little bit close in that first half, but you guys were able to pull away. How were you able to do so?
Perseverance, determination, and we just have been focused, and we were a little bit more focused in that second half.
And now it's time for league play. How do you feel this gives you some momentum as you propel into Bay League play?
Winning solves everything, so now it's time to get busy and get ready for the Bay League.
For you, I go back to you one last time. For you, is this special, first win at a new program? This is your first year here. You're doing new things. You got a whole bunch of new players. You're building your program the way Coach Grant wants it done from the ground. How special is this for you?
Well, it's very important that we get things going in the right direction. And a win is a win, and we're just glad it happened here against Hawthorne because, you know, they're our local rivals, and it's sweet.
Hey, thanks a lot, Coach. Congratulations. Lou, Rufus, Coach Grant, Leuzinger winning this one for the 9th year in a row. Coach Grant's going to address his boys. We're going to pull a couple of them as soon as he's done, but for right now, we'll send it back upstairs to you.
All right, thank you very much, Rashawn Haylock. And there's the Mayor's Cup, and the Olympians are loving it. That's a big win there, their first win of the season. It's been a rough 4 games, and they earned this one tonight. And Coach Grant sounded like Teddy Roosevelt, talks softly and carries a big stick.
Absolutely. I mean, he is indeed a man of few words, and the few words that he chooses to use don't have a whole lot of humor in them. You know? I mean, it's just straight to the point. It's straight business. But his team plays that way, and boy, they played well. They believe it, and this will sound strange to some folks, considering that they came into this contest 0-4. But Lou, they look like a well-oiled machine. Okay, I mean they've got stars at every position, nearly on certainly on the offensive side. They got a young quarterback in Carrier who just, I mean, showed poise way beyond being a sophomore. I got to admit, I mean, the guy was great. And then with the other guys that they've got around him, LaRon Barnes, Henry Christian, Anthony Williams, Ramajay Williams, they've just got a number of stars. Ivan McLennan is another we can mention, Devin Christie. You know, it was just unbelievable.
They threw 6 running backs at the Cougar defense.
and they made it tough for them. And of course, the Cougars didn't help their cause by giving them half a field to work with most of the night. And let's also mention John Busio. Busio, a huge weapon for this team.
Absolutely.
Had a 34-yard field goal, kicked several of his kickoffs out of the end zone, and that's as good as a defensive stop. When you have a kicker that can do that. This is a kid who certainly has the skills to kick at the next level as well. We don't often talk about some of the kickers around here who can do that, but this guy has it. I mean, he
Absolutely.
has that type of leg.
Absolutely. Well, leading the way for the Leuzinger Olympians was Anthony Williams, the halfback, running back for the Coach Grant's Leuzinger Olympians, a 5'8", 185-pound junior. He was listed as out before the ball game, but he came on to lead the way with 17 carries, 131 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And speaking of the sophomore, John Carrier, he had a terrific night in the air. He was 8 out of 13, 175 yards, and 3 touchdowns himself, and 2 touchdown throws too. Number 12, LaRon James, he had 4 receptions and 86 yards. So a good job by the Leuzinger Olympians, and not to mention the line. They've always got those big kids there at the line, and they showed up tonight as well.
They certainly did. Yeah, their line, like I say, every aspect. They're telling us Rashawn is ready with another interview. Looks like he's got Anthony Williams tonight. So, hey, Rashawn, take it away.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm down here with tailback Anthony Williams. You missed the first quarter, some disciplinary actions. How much were you just chomping at the bit to get in there?
Hey, man, my adrenaline was pumping in there, and I just wanted to go out there and just play my part and make up for the quarter that I missed.
And it seems like you're still trying to make up for it. It's about a buck and a half left in the game, and I saw you just pacing on the sideline. You guys had the game well in hand. It looked like you still got some more left in the tank for tonight.
Oh, yeah, I don't stop playing until the end of the game, you know. That's how you have to win. That's how you win, you know. Stay in there, stick in. You know, we started off with a rough season, but we getting there, and we're more disciplined than we were at first. We were playing around, but more players are coming in together, and we're playing as a team. So we should be straight this year.
What did you see out there? How were you able individually to have so much success out there tonight?
Just my vision, and just aiming for that touchdown, aiming for the end zone. You know, acting like I'm running for my life.
You got Beverly Hills next week. Beverly Hills. You got Palos Verdes next week. Bay League play starting for you guys. How important was this for you tonight as you start Bay League play?
It was very important to us. You know, we had a lot to that was against us. You know, we were 0-4 to 1-3, so it was like a lot of pressure on us and stuff. But we just kept our heads up positive, and we came out with the victory.
Hey, thanks for the time. Congratulations on the win. That's Anthony Williams. Only played 3 quarters tonight, but he definitely made his impact, guys. I'm gonna try to grab a couple more.
All right, thank you very much, Rashawn. Now let's talk about the Hawthorne Cougars, as they had a valiant effort, but their lack of a kicking game, like we've been saying all night long, really gave the Olympians the short field and the advantage to the Olympians and their offense. But on the Hawthorne side of the ball, number 4, James Griffiths, was the workhorse there, had 26 carries for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. And La Tufaiono had 16 carries and 61 yards and a touchdown. And Chris Bailey, who was injured with a probable concussion, has a 96-yard touchdown return for the Hawthorne Cougars. Shane Reif in relief of Ricky Calderon, which really put a monkey in the wrench of Coach Joe Koenig's first Mayor's Cup, as he had an eye injury earlier in the week and really had to change the defense from pro style back to the double wing formation. Let's go back down to Rashawn.
Clean and well. The uniform speaks for itself. This man was all over the field tonight. How much fun you have out there?
I had fun, just having fun, getting the win with all my brothers that I love. Just it's all good beating Hawthorne.
You said brothers. It seems like this team is just that, a team. It seems like there's a lot more cohesiveness between this bunch. Is that true? And if so, why?
It is, because we've been through a lot with each other. I played JV with these guys, passing leagues, all type of stuff. I know them since I was a freshman. Now I'm a senior, and I'm loving that, we moved up all together as freshmen, as sophomores, as juniors, and as seniors, and it's always good winning this trophy, too.
I see you keeping that close to you. How sweet is that?
It's sweet. It's my senior year. Last year I won it, too. Actually, last year was my first year starting in varsity, and it was my start against Hawthorne, and we won too. So I'm glad I can get back-to-back wins on them.
As one of the senior leaders on this team, you got, guys are a young bunch for the most part. What do you have to do to try to keep this group together and keep some of these younger guys focused? You got Bay League coming up.
Man, Bay League is real tough. You know, like they got Maricosta, the defending CIF champs. Redondo's pretty good, but I believe that if we play as a team and work hard at practice and listen to Coach Grant and Coach Jenkins and all our coaches, we'll be successful in the Bay League.
And one more thing for you, talking about Coach Grant. How different has this been for you guys? You talked about it's been a tough transition for going over to Coach Grant from Coach Tolliver. How different has this been?
Well, it's really not a big difference. They're both two intense coaches, and you know, I do love Coach T. I've been here with him all 3 years, but Coach Grant is an excellent coach, and I love him too. So it's pretty much the same thing. We just got to play as players. You can't slack off. Like the first 4 games, we was slacking off, making teams put up 40 on us, and that's not Leuzinger defense right there.
It's enough love to go around for this young man, except for the Cougars. And number 3 was all over the field tonight. He definitely let us play through the talking, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rashawn. A very happy Ivan McLennan, and he certainly helped his Olympians earn the Mayor's Cup once again for the 9th straight time, 50-30. And like Rashawn was saying with Ivan, the Bay League starts next week at Palos Verdes, at the Lou House, I should say. But what a preseason these Olympians had to endure. A 42-6 loss at Santa Monica, or at home to Santa Monica, at Harvard Westlake, 42-8, a 44-0 drubbing by the hands of Lakewood, and then at Westchester, they went there and lost 52-13. And so did this prepare them for what's coming on now?
Well, I think in a certain way it certainly did. But as you say, they had a couple of adjustments to make. And really making an adjustment to a new coach and a new coaching staff is difficult for an athlete at any level because things are going to change. All right, period. And things have changed here, and you're right there. And I think McLennan said it best that Coach Tolliver as well as Coach Grant are both very intense. Mm-hmm. But it was a gauntlet that they had to run, and yes, it did prepare for what should be a very competitive Bay League season for them. And I think it gives the fans of Channel 22 something to be excited about. Having said that, the fans of Hawthorne also have some things that they can take away from this game, and they can take away from their preseason that they know that coming out on the field they can be competitive. They got a couple of folks they got to get well real quick because, boy, got to tell you, Chris Bailey is an important part of this. Their quarterback that they're missing, Ricky Calderon, is an important part of this. Shane Rife looks to be back, and you get them going. I mean, just think about that. Bailey and Rife as your wide receivers, all right, split out on each end. That is a threat right there. So I'm excited for both schools, actually, and really excited for Hawthorne, considering what they've had to endure over the past 4.5 years to be able to look at this program, look at this team, and know that there's some bright Fridays ahead for them.
That's right, and considering, Rufus, that the Cougars only had 2, maybe 3 days to readjust their offensive scheme from the I style, which Leuzinger runs, to the wing formation. That's an incredible performance right there, as Coach Kanak had to shuffle between the JV and the varsity and get things going here. And all things considered, they did a pretty good job.
They did a very good job, and it looks like Rashawn has a couple of last words he wants to impart upon us.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Leuzinger is getting ready to hit the bus right now. Big win for them, no doubt. 9 straight Mayor's Cup trophies, 9 straight victories in this historic rivalry for this team. But guys, let's look ahead to next week. And I know you guys saw Lawndale earlier this season. They're going to have their hands full with a very tough El Segundo team. El Segundo will be coming into that game with a record of 4-1. They had a bye this week, and Lawndale is going to have their hands full next week, guys.
Yeah, they sure are. Rashawn, thank you very much. As usual, a terrific job at Hawthorne, though. They start off with Beverly Hills at Beverly Hills, and Ricky Calderon says he's going to miss that one, but he hopes to be back for homecoming. That's on October 22nd when Morningside comes calling here at Hal Cap.
Hal Cap Field. And of course, as I said, it's likely that not only will Ricky Calderon be out, Chris Bailey will also be out. So they'll be a little bit short-handed going into that game. But, again, that's what football's about. And as I said, it creates opportunities for other players to step up and go for it. But you're right. We've got three great teams, three teams that are on the rise. The Lawndale Cardinals, as Rashawn referenced earlier, the Leuzinger Olympians, whom we saw tonight emerge victorious, and the Hawthorne Cougars, who we saw put up a good fight.
Right.
I mean, the final score says, 50-30 or something like
Right,
that,
uh-huh.
and realize that at one point in the third quarter, it was 30-22.
Right.
All right. And Hawthorne had a big third down play that they couldn't hold them on, where they could have gotten the ball back and really got into it. Then it sort of went downhill from there. So the score is not really indicative of how well the Hawthorne Cougars played, but it is indicative of how doggone good the Leuzinger Olympians are.
That's true, and it's going to be a fun season. That's for sure. We're looking forward to bringing you a lot of the action here on Channel 22 Sports. Well, what do you think, pal? Should we put a bow on this one?
I think it's about time. Otherwise, we'll be doing pregame for next week pretty soon.
All right. Well, for my partners, there, let's put the bow on it right there. Why don't you raise the box up a little bit? There we go. All right there. Okay. All right, for. Where is? Oh, there's Louie down there. Hey, Louie. All right. For Brian Robert Taylor. I can't remember if it's got three names, forget it. Brian Robert Taylor and Rashawn Haylock, Rufus Washington, Tom Strickfadden. Welcome back, pal. We're glad to have you back, and Godspeed on all that other stuff you got to go to, man. This is Lou Stowers saying from Hal Cap Field, the final score of the Mayor's Cup, Leuzinger keeps it at their house, 50-30. Until next time, so long.